Hi friends, in this video I'm going to talk about top 10 best practices for a software developer. If you're a software developer, these 10 points would really help you. An effective software developer always strive to write JUnit test cases for the actual code. So you write the business code, correspondingly you have to write the JUnit test cases because manual testing might take a lot of time. So JUnit test cases will help you and it will be very faster. So for the actual code, you have to write the JUnit test cases as much as possible. A software developer should run the entire build after a new code is checked in. You can immediately run the build after you check in, or you can also do at the end of the day. If you want to continue your coding, you can continue, but end of the day you should run your entire build. Your compilation or error should not affect the other team members. Reduce your complaints about things around you. For example, no VM, technologies you don't understand, the new requirement you don't understand. Instead of complaining about all this stuff, think about the solution. How can I understand more? How can I connect with the user to understand more about the requirement? How can I get the VM working for me? How can I learn the new technology? So think about the solution instead of complaining about the things around you. Do not lose an opportunity to present your work to your manager. Does matter does not matter it's a small or a big, but your manager should be aware what you do. If there is any issue, as a team including your manager will come to know what is the problem, and he will or the team and team you can try to solve it. Always check in your code, never place your code locally, and never say I'll do it tomorrow because you might lose your code. So check in the code in SVN or clear case. Always have a branch code for the current release. It will be useful if there is any issue in the production. You can fix it in the branch code and you can release the fix in the next release. Find new tools and techniques to speed up your development activity. For example, a new debugging tool, a new tool to connect to remote machine, a new tool to compare the source code, FTP tool for transferring files to remote machine. So like this, you have to, in your toolbox, you have to keep adding new tools and the new techniques. Testing software changes is a must. Don't say I don't have time, I'm busy. Never compromise it. Your changes should be tested and it's a must. I just commented a code, or I just changed the comment. Okay, I removed the comment or changed the comment. Do I need to still test it? Yes, you have to test it. Change just a variable name. Testing has to be done. You removed a unwanted method, so you have to test it. For any reason you touch the code, you have to test it. It will build the confidence in you. If you feel it's simple change and no need of testing, later you are going to suffer and it's too dangerous. Software bugs are your enemies. If you find one bug, enjoy the moment and continue your great testing. Before sending your code to a senior developer for code review, please check the below list. Have you done any of the following? You've done a bad coding, or you didn't apply the object oriented to your code, please correct it. If you have not followed the standard, please follow it. While coding, if you didn't keep the performance in your mind, so try to look at your code. Will it affect the application performance? Recheck once again. History, indentation, comments, is it done properly? Readability of the code is very poor. So if someone can understand your code later point of time, say after 1 year, someone can understand your code. So is the readability is good or not? Open files are not closed. Please check in your code. Files are not closed. So please check in your code whether it's done or not. Allocated memory has not been released. Too many global variables in your class files. Check whether you have done it. If there is it a valid reason to keep many global variables? Too much hard coding. Rather than reading from the property file or DB, you have kept too much of hard coding. Remove it. Poor error or exception handling. So how you handle your exception handling in your code? Please recheck it before sending for the review. No modularity, in the sense single responsibility principle is not applied to your code, method, your class. Just check it. If there is any duplicate code, please correct it. No appropriate JUnit test cases or code coverage. Write the JUnit test cases. Methods inputs are not validated. So you have a method and there are input params supplied, you didn't validate it. It might lead to an exception. So please validate it before processing it. Too many lines of code in a single method. Avoid it. Split the method into multiple methods. Not tested all possible scenarios. You have written a code, only you have tested the happy path. So you have to test all the possible negative and the different scenarios to cover all the code, all the lines of code. Mark the variable as public rather than accessing the getter method. So you have marked a variable as public, so there is a security hole. Someone can access the variable directly. So instead of that, use a getter method and you can protect the variable. So please check all this stuff before sending for the code review. Hope these 10 points are useful. Thank you and all the best.